Most new designers fail, and it's not because of the lack of talent. It's not because they don't have creativity. It's because of the same 7 mistakes almost every beginner makes. And the thing is, these mistakes are avoidable. Today, I'm going to walk you through each one of them so you don't waste money or time or even energy going down the wrong path. If you're dreaming on building your own brand, or you're already started but you feel stuck, this video could save you years of trial and error. So let's dive into 7 mistakes every new designer makes and how you can avoid them. Mistake number 1, chasing trends instead of building identity. It's tempting. A trend pops off on TikTok or Instagram, let's say parachute pants, corsets, or ultra baggy denim, and you think, if I make this, people will buy it. The problem? The time your product is ready, the trend is over. You're left with clothes that nobody wants. The brands that last, think Rick Owens, Levi's, Dior. They don't chase trends. They build signature identities. That's what makes people follow them season after season. So ask yourself, what's my design language? Not what is trending, but what is me? That's what creates long-term brands. Mistake number 2, overproduction before testing demands. Here's a nightmare scenario. You get excited, you produce 200 jackets or even worse, 500 tees, and then they sit there. Your bedroom, or worse, a warehouse you're paying rent for. The truth is, you don't know if something is willing to sell until you test it. That's why so many smart designers start with pre-orders, print on demand, or even small drops. Make 10 pieces and put them out there. See if people are actually willing to buy. If they do, great, scale up. And if they don't, it saves you thousands in dead stock. The fashion graveyard is full of brands that went all in too soon. Mistake number 3, ignoring margins and pricing. Designers love to obsess over fabrics, cuts, and finishes, but forget the maths. If the maths doesn't work, your brand won't either. Here's a quick example. Let's say you're making a hoodie for £30. You sell it for 60. Sounds fine, right? Doubled your money. But after packaging, shipping, marketing, and transactional fees, you're making about £5 profit. Now imagine trying to pay yourself, a team, or reinvest into new products. It doesn't work. Fashion is a business, much as it is art. So before you launch, build out the costs, aim for the margins that actually let you grow. Mistake number 4, spending all your money on products and none of them on marketing. I see this all the time. A new designer puts every penny into beautiful clothing and then they can't afford to show it to anyone. Marketing isn't an option, it's how people discover you. It's how people understand why your product matters. Think of it like this. If a tree falls in a forest and no one can hear it, does it make a sound? If a brand makes beautiful clothing and no one sees them, do they exist? Budget at least 20 to 30% of your resources for content, social media, collaborations, PR, or pop-ups. Clothes alone don't just build a brand, attention does. Mistake number 5, thinking followers equal sales. This is a very painful one. Just because you have 10,000 followers doesn't mean you'll sell 10,000 hoodies. In fact, you might only sell 5. Why? Because followers doesn't equal customers. Some people follow you for inspo, some because your post went viral, but buying is a whole different level of commitment. Instead of obsessing over followers counts, focus on building a community, engaging with people, answering DMs, asking for feedback. Get 100 true fans and people who actually want to buy from you. That's worth more than 10,000 passive followers. Mistake number 6, not understanding supply chains. Here's the unsexy side of fashion, logistics. Where do your fabrics come from? Who's stitching your garments? How long does your production take? If you don't know, you're setting yourself up for chaos. I've seen designers lose entire collections because they didn't check the lead times or minimum order quantities. Others got stuck when their suppliers ghosted them mid-production. Even if you're small, learn the basics. How to source fabric, how to negotiate MOQs, how to create a tech pack, how to ask the right questions. This knowledge gives you control and stops others from taking advantage of you. Mistake number 7, neglecting brand stories and positioning. Your brand isn't just about products, it's the story, the meaning, the feeling people get when they wear it. Think about Nike. They don't just sell shoes, they sell just do it. Think about Chanel, not just perfume or quilted jackets, but Parisian elegance. Why do you sell you? What do you sell? What's your story? If you don't define it, people won't connect. And without connection, they won't buy. So spend time building your positioning. What do you stand for? Who are you? Why should someone care? The story is the backbone of your whole brand. Now, here's the good news. Even the best brands have made these mistakes and bounced back. Jacques Mus, in his early shows, was tiny. He couldn't even afford proper models, but the strong identity, playful Southern France aesthetic built a cult following. Supreme, in the 90s, they almost died out, but by focusing on scarcity and community, they turned things around and become one of the most valuable streetwear brands ever. And even Virgil, his first brand, Pyrex, was controversial, but he learned, pivoted, and built Off-White into a global powerhouse. Mistakes don't kill you, not learning from them does. So here's your homework. Audit your brand against these 7 mistakes. Ask yourself, am I chasing trends or building an identity? Am I overproducing or testing first? Do my margins actually make sense? Am I budgeting for marketing? Do I value the community over followers? Do I understand the supply chain? Have I nailed my branding story? If you can answer these honestly, you're already ahead of 90% of new designers. And remember, this isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware and making smart choices as you grow. Fashion is hard, but most failures come from those mistakes, not from the lack of talent. Avoid them and you'll give yourself a real shot. If this video helped, hit the subscribe, drop a comment about which mistake hits home for you, and share it with someone you may know who's starting their own brand. This has been What They Don't Teach You at Fashion School, and I'll see you next time.